Well, hey everybody, it cometh a egg. Just making a video in my continuing saga and the last one in the series of my beautiful cards in horrible condition. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Joe and any insomniacs that might be watching. This whole thing started when I showed off some cards, some PSA graded 2.5 cards, just showing you that 2.5s can be 10s. And after that, I showed off my graded 2 cards. I made a short with my 1.5 graded cards and got like 50 views. It was terrible. People don't like these videos, but I'm going to do them anyway because I enjoy doing them. And I hadn't yet done my 1 video, my PSA 1 graded cards. And then a good buddy of the channel, Rick, over at Vintage Oddball Cards, decides he's going to do a video response request, and he's looking for your beater cards, your busted up, broken down, terrible condition cards. And I thought, well, perfect. I can finally use this opportunity to show off my PSA ones. And it's going to show some ratty cards. And I guess they don't have to all be baseball. I'll start it off with my rattiest card. Picked this up at a show. It is Mickey Mouse and Pluto. This card is from 1935, so really early Disney card, and it's got everything. Completely rounded out corners, bent and dinged up, vertical and horizontal rips all the way through it. Actual pieces of the card missing. It checks all the boxes for horrible damage. So, this Mickey Mouse card is just a cute one. It was $5 at a show, and I just thought it was cool, so I picked that up. And that's kind of what these cards are. These are cards that, at best, would grade an authentic or a PSA 1, And let me show you a card that... we'll go right into my PSA 1s here. Here's a 1957 Topps Ernie Banks. Isn't that a gorgeous card? Beautiful picture, nice color, jumps out at you. The centering looks pretty right on. No paper loss, nothing like that. Really nice card. Actually, pretty sharp corners. Can't complain too bad, but here's the thing. It looks like the card was actually ripped right here. See where there's like one line here and one line here? Looks like the card was ripped kind of almost all the way through. And that rip right there takes this card from, I don't know, a 6 or something, all the way down to a poor, that's what the PR means, 1 example. Which, this seems crazy to me, because then, theoretically, if you were to crack this card out of the case and poke a hole in it and put a string through it and go off-roading in your truck and drag this card behind you and let it pick up all kind of dirt and grime, and then you go see an escort and you let her drop trow and drag her ass across the card and then blow your nose in it and use the corners to pick your teeth with it and do whatever you want to this card. You go and submit it back for grading, and it's gonna get that same PSA 1. So, PSA 1 cards, they're kind of fascinating to me. They've lived quite a life, and, you just kind of think about the life that it had before it came into your hands. Here's a card right here. I actually picked this card up in a trade with Ricky B. Ricky. Love this card. 1955 Bowman Hank Aaron. Really one of the better cards in the whole set. Now, I don't even like taking this out, but I'm doing it for Rick because he's the man, and he's a bad mamma jamma. And so here we've got the card, but just like that Ernie Banks, this one's got a couple little flaws in it. But if you look here on the side, this piece is actually physically removed from the card. You see that? So it looks like somebody took a bite out of this. This rip goes all the way through. And you got that cardboard separated. So that's it there. Now, I really like this card. It's a beautiful shot of Hank Aaron. Really, that's good looking. But, if I was to send this in for grading, it would get, best case scenario, an authentic or a 1. So I wouldn't do that. I'm just going to keep it here in its cool, oversized holder thing. But these are the kind of cards I think Rick's talking about. He's talking about your old beater cards like this Casey Stengel. And those are the cards I want. Cards that don't really look like they were purposely put into bad condition, but just, as we say, well loved. Maybe it was a card that the person really liked, so they put it in their backpack or put it in their pocket and took it to school and maybe washed their pants with the cards still in it. There's been a lot of cards like that. Look at this Mini Minoso rookie card. Again, PSA 1, but look at the color. So beautiful. The real main glaring problem with this card is that it was folded in half. Somebody probably liked it, put it in their wallet, put it in their pocket, whatever it was. This is not a flawless card by any stretch of the imagination, but right through the middle, cut perfectly in half, just like folding a piece of paper. So you get your 1. But again, you could bust this card out of the case, do horrible, untold atrocities to it, and send it back in and just get your 1 back. It's kind of weird because this is the same hobby where we pull cards out of packs with rubber gloves on so that, no microscopic problem happens with it and takes it from a 10 to a 9. But, man, 1s are 1s, Here's another here. Bob Gibson. Yeah, I think 1968 was one of the best pitching performances ever on history for anybody. For this gentleman, Bob Gibson. Yeah, this is one of those cards, classic problems. You got surface issues, you got rounded corners, you got dings and dents, you got creases both on the left and the right. But again, maybe this card was owned by a Cardinals fan in 1968. And while Bob Gibson is having the absolute year of his life, this kid is showing off this card from 1968. He's showing it off to his friends at school. Maybe it was his prized possession. That's a great card just to look back on and think, man, somebody was a big fan of his, and this was, one of his most tremendous years of baseball. Shout out to Geez Mikey, one of the most entertaining YouTubers out there in the community, just for trying to teach people that you can buy beautiful vintage cards. Maybe instead of buying into breaks or chasing the hottest young quarterback or going to Walmart or Target and wasting your money on blasters of overproduced garbage. You can take that money and hell, start collecting Mickey Mantle cards. Never thought I could afford Mickey Mantle cards. And then I see stuff like this. Sporting News All-Star. Again, you know what? I'd say this is my nominee for my worst but favorite PSA 1 or really damaged card. Again, vertical and horizontal. It played tic-tac-toe with the creases here. Left, right, center, everything. It's off-center. That corner is just mangled. Just really, really terrible. Looks like it was stuck in some, scrapbook or something. Again, but how beautiful is that bazooka, the Chew of Champions? PSA 1 Mickey Mantle. And that's not it. My entire Mickey Mantle collection are all PSA 1s. Here's the iconic 1959 Topps set. And look at that beautiful Mickey Mantle. PSA 1. And you know what the old saying is, well, this one actually says poor fair one. I don't know what that's all about. Poor fair one. So maybe this is a little better than a 1. Maybe this is a 1.5. All these others says poor, but this says Puerto Rican on Friday, or poor to fair in that one. So I bet if I send this back to PSA, they would like re-slab it with the more updated one. Or look at this one here from the year before, 1958 Topps Mantle, card number 150 in a pour. And it says it's a 1 miscut. So not only did they give this card a 1, but they have to point out that it's miscut. Which is funny because a lot of times when you're establishing value of graded cards, when it has a nasty qualifier on it, like miscut or whatever, they actually say price-wise it goes down 2 grades. So if you have an 8 miscut, it's really the price of a 6. So is a 1 miscut really a -1? You know, what's the grade on this card? Another one I could probably send back and get re-slabbed just to be a 1. I'm not gonna do it. But, man, it's terrible. That's less than poor. And, yeah, for eye appeal, it's still there. No paper loss. Creases all the way through it, left and right. But, again, buying Mickey Mantle Playing Days slabs, at least before the pandemic and everything, we're south of $100. And really, really great. I got another one here. 67 tops. Again, one of Mickey Mantle's easiest to get Playing Days cards. A beautiful smile on his face. Yes, I said, looks like he's getting that old alcohol face with the nose and everything and all, kind of getting a little slurry, sloppy. But, PSA 1, man, picking up mantles. Who says you can't own mantles? How about some tasty Dan D potato chips? Got a Monty Irvin, beautiful card with horrible damage on it. But, again, you could crack this out and make it a hell of a lot worse and still get your 1 back. So I just dig this card. It is a beaut. It's probably got old, historic, dated, racist potato chip oil on it. But, man, now it's in this slab. It's nice and protected forever. And I'll take that 1. Another card that I really, really always wanted to own. I just wanted to own any of those Venezuelan cards, because they're like thin paper stock and they always have writing on them and they're not as well taken care of or held up to damage as your regular cards. But here's one, 1962. This is one of those original. Shout out to Victor Negron cards. This was one of those. I really wanted a Venezuela. I wanted PSA slabbed just for protection. And I found this. Who better to get than Babe Ruth? And it was one of those where this was super, super affordable. You're like, why the hell is this priced so low? And again, it had 20, 25 people watching the auction. So what did I do? I said, watch this. And I hit buy it now and bought it. And why the hell would you not? Beautiful card. Babe Ruth as a boy. In those Venezuelan packs, there was glue put directly on the back of each card, and there were 4 card packs. So you got a 25% chance of getting glue on the back there. So yay, I got it. It's El Bambino de Niño. Babe is a boy, So just a really great story to tell there in Spanish. And, Babe Ruth, freaking 62. Beautiful card. Horrible condition, but that makes it more beautiful. This is my favorite PSA 1 card. My favorite PSA 1 card in the collection. You got to have ratty cards, man. You got to just love the game. Another Ernie Banks here. Let's play 2. Goodness, that's a beautiful card, and it's a 1. I could do a lot more damage to this card out in the wilderness, Look at this. Somebody took decent care of this. These big oversized cards from the 50s that didn't fit into pages and was well before penny sleeves or anything like that. Man, somebody liked this card and really took care of it. Want to get it slabbed, make it a 1, and make it way cheaper than a raw card would be for me to pick up? I'll do that anytime. So love your cards, no matter the condition. All cards are beautiful. All cards matter. I want to thank you for watching. Check the links in the description below for Rick Vintage Oddball cards and anybody else that I've mentioned here. And again, collect the way you want to collect. And PSA, come on, do better. You don't literally have to put the word poor on every single PSA 1 that you grade. All right? A little dignity for us budget collectors that are trying, to get the best cards we have. You just got to write poor on every single one of them. Fuck that. Come on. Remind me of poor. I'm not poor. You're poor.